right, guys, here we are to talk about the film Ninja Cheerleaders.
Good.
It's a very special episode. We are joined with the one and only Lindsay. Lindsay, tell the people hello.
Hey everybody, I'm so excited to be back. Last time we talked about spiders and Spiders 2, and you approached me about this cheerleader ninja thing, and I was like, let's do it.
So we are watching we're talking about two movies. One will be on our channel, that is this one, Ninja Cheerleader 2008, and then we will hop over onto Lindsay's channel where we'll talk about Cheerleader Ninja 1998?
No, it was 2003.
2003.
When it came
Wow.
out. I don't think it was shot then. That's when it came out.
My
Shot
top
over the
note on
course
that
of
movie is
decades.
this is the most 90s movie ever. But yes, apparently not a 90s movie at all. All right.
It's an homage.
We are here today to talk about Ninja Cheerleader. This movie, where to start on this movie? Let's start with some non-spoiler thoughts, people. Lindsay, why don't you start us off? What did you think about Ninja Cheerleader?
I mean, I was, just in like the same age as these girls when this came out, maybe a little older. And I just didn't realize how taxing the life of a young woman could be at this time. I mean, there's so much going on, so much they have to handle. I mean, there's finals, they got to try to get into Brown, there's a strip off, there's just all these things that they need to juggle, and I mean, girls get it done.
Did you have like a sheltered existence compared to these girls? Is that what you're trying to say?
So sheltered
Okay.
compared to these women.
You weren't out in the real world dealing with real world problems like this movie illustrates.
I had the
Not at
Magic
all.
Mike Samurai version of this through college, but pretty much verbatim the same. Right down to the kidnapping
Oh my.
It's true.
by Michael Paré. He did the same thing.
Oh God, wait. Okay.
Thinking of the other one?
We know these people. Yes. No, it's great. Okay. Ooh.
So, Lee, your non-spoiler thoughts on Ninja Cheerleaders?
What can I say that hasn't already been said? Honestly, I accidentally did not watch the first 10 minutes of this when I first watched it, and I feel like that was
Wait.
How did that happen?
So we
By
were
the grace of God, you missed the first 10, or
we were tasked with watching like two films that have similar names for that purpose. That is the connective tissue linking them together. And I was like, let me get a taste of what I have in store for me to pick which one to watch. And then when I watched them, I must have hit like resume because I'd already watched it for like a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
But I also just like scrubbed to like the middle on my Plex thing. I'm getting too detailed, right? But yes, I feel like it was a better experience having not seen the first 10 minutes because it was like, this is a wild ride. This is kind of experimental. I don't even know what's happening. This is cool. And then with the first 10 minutes, it only goes downhill, I think. So if that
having
tells
seen
you
the first 10 minutes, I can also tell you it's a wild ride. This is experimental.
Oh yeah.
choices get made. Yeah.
I don't think we get a plot to like 40 minutes in.
And even then, convoluted at best.
It's not much.
So would you recommend Ninja Cheerleaders?
Yes. If I had to choose to pick this one or the other one, I would definitely say this one.
Okay, so with a caveat.
With a caveat. If like you had like someone said, if you don't watch Ninja Cheerleader or Cheerleader Ninjas, I'm gonna punch your dog or something, I would pick this one.
Punching a dog or watching.
I'm trying to like do this where I'm like, because like that is faint praise, right? You're like, it's ranked 1 of 2, like,
Yeah.
you're like, whatever. So I might say to watch the other one, which we'll talk about separately. Obviously, I won't like get into that. I feel like Ninja Cheerleaders 2008 is like everything that could ever be bad about a movie, like
True.
in a movie,
True.
and like. Without like the like it had a little bit, but like without those moments where you go, hey, there's a guy in a rubber suit and he's wet and it's fun. Like without those parts. It was
with
just everything
all the
else.
celebrities you could want in a movie like this, with a plot on the back of the box that you're like, oh man, this is everything I need. Now, like, I picked this movie up after, so like I first found the other one, the 2003 one, in a thrift shop, and I was like, what is this gem? This is amazing. And I was like, all right, well, let me. Oh, you know what it was? I found it in a thrift shop, and it wasn't in the box, and I was like, I have to look this up to find this later.
Then it
And
was
when
a
I
white
looked
whale.
it up, that's when I
Yeah.
found out there are two. And I was like, well, I need both of these in my life because one day this will be a thing. And this was years ago. So like,
my
I didn't even know you yet at that time. And I've waited going one day these movies and have not watched them. So I watched them both today. And
Oh my God.
And if I had to recommend one, it would be this one. But saying that it does fall short in everything I wanted because I've built it up so high in my head, and it is not hitting that mark whatsoever. But it is something that if you're in a group could definitely have a fucking party with.
Oh, yeah.
But I watched it solo, and it was not a party. And I will give this one the W here solely because the next one actually killed me.
So this movie, not a murderer. That's the point in its favor.
You'll
Yeah, feather in its
survive
cap,
this
not a
one.
murderer.
I'm so jealous of you that having only watched them today, because like I watched them several days ago and then had to go back and watch 10 more minutes. The movie was so long, even without the 10 minutes. I was like, oh, this is so long. By the way, but yes, I'm so jealous of you from like Tuesday when you were just happy and didn't know about what was coming. Yes, okay, yeah.
All right. So you heard what we recommend and what we don't. We're about to go into the spoilers. So if you've seen it or don't care, follow us over. And if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right. So here we are for spoilers of Ninja Cheerleader. Every time I mention this title, I'm going to glance down because I will forget which one I'm talking about. This is Ninja Cheerleader. Spoilers, now that we kind of already know going into this whether we liked it or didn't like it. With many caveats afoot. Lindsay, why don't you start us off with what is the fun spoilers you got for us? Give us something good about Cheerleader, Ninja Cheerleader. Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh.
Well, that's a challenge.
It is a challenge. Well,
Curveball. Give us something good. Oh no.
okay. This kind of came out in the same era. It's early to late 2000s. I think this kind of missed the crush of these kind of movies because you have Sugar and Spice, things like that, where it's cheerleaders.
Yeah, a good movie. Yeah.
Yeah, cheerleaders doing crazy shit. It's pretty much the genre. That we've dipped our toe into, or had our head dunked into, more like it. But yeah, it's just it's girls who men for some reason cannot resist, want to look at them.
Well, every man's a pervert in this.
And every single guy is just a frickin' perv
Sweetie, you don't even have balls.
in this movie, except for George Takei. Even though he owns a strip club,
Which I would say gives him his pervert card.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you even understand the importance of this club?
It makes a good profit.
No! It's family.
Yeah, but he's not overtly a pervert. He's not staring at a girl. He's not a coach trying to hit on his 18-year-old students.
It's totally legal, you know? I mean, with you being 18 and all. I mean, damn.
It is junior college though too. Like it was some of the jokes they made at that guy's expense. I was like, were they originally writing this for high school?
Exactly.
Because they're giving them a lot of like grass on the field kind of jokes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're in college.
Yeah, it was so I was so confused at points because I'm like, is this a junior college or is this a high school? Because there was a lot of stuff like that made me think that no, this is a high school. Because like, yeah, I've only been 18 for 6 months. Ooh.
Yeah.
250,000.
250 grand? You only been here 6 months?
Only been 18, 6 months.
That's incredible.
We are very popular.
A lot of that. kind
In
of
that
shit.
6 months, raised $200,000.
Yeah.
And then once it gets, spoilers were there. Once that money gets stolen, she's like, I couldn't possibly dance for another 6 months.
I just hate this town. What we have to do every night, we all do. Yeah, but I thought we were done. I thought we were,
6 months for $200,000. I will do anything for 6 months for $200,000.
And they're dancing. They are like the most famous strippers in George Takei's employ.
They're
And
go-go dancers, actually.
Yeah, they never take off their clothes.
They take off some things, but
I mean,
they
the rest of their clothes.
Their goods are covered.
In the $50,000 strip off, which is for 12 people in an audience, they don't take off one article of clothing. There's not even a let me throw my fucking scarf. Nothing at all. And I love that shit so much because they always have these things where it's like, the Save the Rec Center challenge. Oh, they're having a who can make the best baked potato. You get $100,000. I'm like, who is sponsoring this contest?
Right.
The big
potato is in there.
The big highlight for that for me, and I was like, wait a minute, is that Jason Ellis? And it was the guy who announces the strip off winner. I was like, oh, okay. I was like,
Jason Ellis?
He's a pro skater.
Oh, okay.
He's also now a podcaster, as everybody is.
Because he was very big.
Maybe it's because you tried to drown him.
I was trying to help him swim, but he might have seen it differently.
Yeah, some people take that personal.
Well, I did pull him out.
Gotcha. He seemed like he was it was like a cameo role for this person, but I don't know who he was.
Who's in it for like 4 seconds. Another one of those is there's a scene which might be my favorite scene because it's so ludicrous in a movie that is only ludicrous scenes. They observe some Girl Scouts going to try to sell a gentleman some cookies. He, being a portly gentleman, says, no, I don't want any cookies. I'm on the up and up. I'm trying to lose some weight, living my life.
He says, screw you, little girl.
Screw off!
But it was in his eyes. He has a problem with food. I saw it. I could see it.
How many boxes?
2.
How many?
Ow! 3 or 4 maybe, possibly.
20 bucks.
What? Are you crazy, little girl? Ow!
And that gentleman is the guy from Modern Family.
You finally got married! Hooray!
Ow!
Oh, are you okay, sweetie?
What do you think?
Oh shit!
What is his name? Eric Stone Street. Stone Street. That's it. Yeah.
I didn't realize that was him.
I don't think he was famous at this point. I don't think he was anybody. And I was like, wait a minute, that guy looks familiar. And I had to look it up, and I was like, that is that guy. Yeah. So that was goofy.
I'm over 2.
You're just bitter because you got shot.
Y'all know all these famous people. I guess let me just interject here. Are you aware of Larry Poindexter?
I am 100% aware of him. I can't tell you that I knew his name, but he's been in so many TV shows that I like. He's one of those actors, kind of like the Snitch, like Jimmy the Snitch or whoever.
Screw you, all right?
He's a character where I'm like, oh, you're in a lot of things. I couldn't say what I know you from.
So, I became consumed. Where do I know this guy? As a younger man, I saw him. I know I saw him. And I was like, did I see him having sex with Shannon Tweed in like a Skinamax movie that I scanned when I was 13, where I'm like, this says nudity. I have to watch this. And I was correct.
He's the hottest defense lawyer in town. She's the superstar accused of scandal. Body Chemistry 4, Full Exposure, starring Shannon Tweed.
No way.
He starred in Body Chemistry 4, Full Exposure with Shannon Tweed.
He was in an episode of Freaky Links, one of my favorite television shows, but he wasn't naked in that, so I can't say that it.
I don't know how much
memory.
I haven't seen it in 20-something years, but yes.
If I were to get a sketch artist in here, could you tell me what he looked like naked?
I mean, I could fill in the blanks, probably. Yeah, I don't think you see schlong in those. You just see it's
unacceptable.
Sexual. But yes, this is before the internet. This is 1990 something or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think I had a TV in my room, and I was like, I'm gonna find risque material that's fit for broadcast. So yes, that and George Takei are the only people that I knew in this whole movie. And you're all naming all these other people.
Yeah, I knew the Trishelle chick because I'm she's been on something.
I think I'm better than you. Yes.
That I've seen some
Is she one of the 3?
Show.
She's one of the 3 main things.
Yeah, we have 3 main characters. They're cheerleaders. Their names are
cheerleader, go-go dancer, ninjas.
Yeah, Courtney, April, and Monica. And these are 3 college students.
So I can look like them?
Yes. With much work, you will look like them.
They're also expert black belt ninjas.
Where'd you get that black belt? Garage sale?
Under the tutelage of George Takei. And they're go-go dancing.
I'm not a stripper, I'm a go-go dancer.
Fine line.
Not with me.
In their spare time when they're not studying human evolution and molecular biology.
So, in the latter stages of a star's life, it enters triple alpha, making carbon, right? Carbon 12.
Yeah, they're geniuses, by the
They're
way. Going to
geniuses,
Brown.
By the way, going to
By the way,
Brown.
geniuses.
They are also go-go dancers, so they got a lot going on.
There's so much packed in there. It's like, oh no, our ninja master is kidnapped. Gotta do finals, then we can save him.
Finals? Yes. You're gonna worry about finals now? If we want to get into Brown, yes.
Like, what is
But
happening?
then we gotta go cheer for the game.
Let's go to my house. Our cheerleading uniforms.
And then we have to go get in our ninja gear and interrupt a mafioso dinner.
And strip 5,000 or strip 50,000.
And then go strip for $50,000.
50 grand for first place.
Oh, come on.
It's a busy day. I love that basketball game because it's so terrible. Like, just don't show it. Just have them in the locker room and then have like the thugs show up. Why show 10 people in a high school gymnasium? It's not good. And every movie that has a budget like anywhere near this does those scenes. And I'm like, why do you keep doing that? Why not wait for an actual game to be happening somewhere and say like, hey, we'll throw some money towards your school. Let us do this thing. No. We'll rent a gymnasium and just fill it with 6 people.
And they were very good cheerleaders.
They were on the floor during the game.
Right? I'm like, what are you doing? They were like all off with their arm movements. One girl like wasn't even doing them at one point.
Oh, what do you want to
like,
do? The moves?
Gotta have that pep, that cheer, that school spirit.
I was okay, but with not having any good choreography because they did have something that I'm a sucker for. That's when like they have that like opening thing where they say the person's name and like what they do, and like I love that shit. I love it so much.
Oh God,
the little bios of everybody.
Yeah, I was dying because it's like the font is all crappy, and then it says like favorite band, The Killers, or like The Strokes, or like contemporary
Favorite
stupid
book,
things.
The Art of War. I'm like,
that's how I knew they were going to be brilliant. Wasn't ones like quasars and science, black holes, or like some crazy shit. I'm like, come on.
One of the favorite bands was like the Philharmonic or whatever,
Yeah.
some orchestra. I'm like,
They're cultured.
Awesome. Exactly.
I
favorite move, the spinning bear claw, like dumb, stupid things like what's
the
happening?
nut crunch, and my where there's so many.
The brunette really liked to grab some balls.
Oh God, yes.
To the point where like someone calls her out. She's like, "Hey, April, right? Whatever. What's with all the nut, busting?"
What's up with all the nut crushing? I don't know. It just seems right. Cool.
And she's like, "I don't know. I'm just a feminist, I guess. Girl power and stuff." Anyway, and then that keeps coming
makes
up.
me feel good.
Yeah, it's like weird. She really seems to enjoy it though.
What was fun and weird was when they finally meet I think it's the Trish Elwyn's mom. She's dressed up like Marty McFly, and she's like, "I got your letter from Brown," and I'm like, "Is that a Doc Brown Marty McFly joke in the middle of the
kids?"
Hi, Mom.
A letter came for you. It's on the counter. It's from Brown.
It was so goofy, and like her dad is weird too.
Her stepdad, yeah.
Yeah, we get this where there must have been deleted scenes or something because we get this like weird interaction, and then later on he's at the strip club $50,000 thing and gets kicked in the face.
They're all at the strip. The coach is at the strip
there.
club. It's so
yep.
Because yes, that is the Save the Rec Center moment where like the camp counselor and the people from town and the weird dude that lives in the woods that like taught them how to row better, they would all be there at the contest. But they're like they're doing the strip off at like the seedy murder scene, crime scene.
I'm just impressed that it's not
insane.
at George's fucking club. Like at least it is another location. Because if they would have said that this little dive bar place,
All we need to do is win tomorrow night.
And my business will tank.
is having a $50,000 contest. I'm like, I don't understand how.
Was it? I thought it was.
It was like a warehouse or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of warehouses, the boss, oh my God, Michael's like office where he's on parole. He just like got off for racketeering, and it's just guns mounted on fluorescent lights all across the walls. And this is extra infuriating because they don't ever use guns, and they would solve all the problems.
We could have been shot. Scary.
And also that warehouse that the mafioso boss has does he have a side gig as a plumber?
It wouldn't surprise me if that's one of his like.
Why do you ask?
Everything.
Because there's like elbow joints.
Yeah, there's just
and
fittings in the
PVC
warehouse.
pipe everywhere. I'm like,
That's our
why
cover
is it-
story. We gotta sell these fixtures.
It's just a front for all their nefarious dealings.
Well, you got to have fronts and side businesses. This is the mob. He went away for tax evasion. He needs to have a dummy corporation. That tracks. I'm okay with that.
I've learned my lesson. I now clean everything with pipes. It's like, what? All right. Cool.
Oh man, pipe's a good segue for their ass torture with a hose.
Think of it as a cleansing enema.
Enema?
What do you think will hurt more? His intestines filling up with water or that metal nozzle?
I don't know nothing. I told you I don't know nothing.
Oh my God. I was like, what? That's a little sadistic. A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, this is from a woman who crushes nuts for fun, so it's not surprising that she.
The other one, the hot one, we have the brunette nut, you know, like nut grabber. You have the one that looks like Sarah Michelle Gellar, who I didn't like.
Yes.
And then the hot one that I did like.
The one with bangs?
Yes, the bangs one.
Drop his drawers.
Hey, wait a minute.
Bangs McGee. She was like, I have an idea. Let me get the hose. And it's like, what? And they're all really into it, which I'm like, this is weird.
The Bangs one I've seen before. She was in a Chucky movie. I don't know which one,
She was in
but
something.
I have a.
I saw Chucky on like the top of the IMDb.
I've never seen the brunette one before, at least in my memory.
Sure,
Maybe she like girls are like magic where they can look totally different in something else. So like maybe I've seen her in everything and I just don't know. But she's not left a lasting impression in this vibe anyway. Which not that like I know Trishelle from much. She's a reality person. Dukes of Hazzard is I think the only thing that really jumps out at me as like, oh yeah, she's that girl.
The one that reminds me of Sarah Michelle Gellar is the most famous one?
That's
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know anything about anybody.
I didn't know she had a last name until seeing the credits on this.
Yeah.
I thought that she was like a wannabe, like really famous person, and like Trishelle is her name. But apparently she has a last name this whole time. It's like, what is it? Like Canterbury or Cannellini or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Cantor, I don't know.
Canatella? I'm honored to not know who any of these people were. I feel like that's a good sign for me and my personal actualization in my life.
Did either of you have a tough time understanding some of what they said? Because the sound mixing with the music was way too loud and the talking was way too soft.
Thank you so much.
Hiroshi would never forgive us.
Yeah, but at least he'd be alive.
Do you honestly think they'll let him walk away? Any of us?
I'm always the one that brings up the sound mixing being
No,
bad.
it's
And Stefan always looks
horrible.
looks at me like you should have your ears checked or something. But no, this was awful.
Bad.
They like
So much of
didn't
it was just
know.
bad that it didn't matter.
Yeah, no, but like they didn't know that there was. Okay, this was directed by someone who is a camera and electrical department person on IMDb mostly.
Yeah, this is his only director and writer credit for a feature.
Okay.
Okay, and
He
he
has a
has
few shorts.
He has a bunch of credits that say video assist operator, but it's on like real movies. It's like Fast and Furious, Starship Troopers, Gemini Man, like real movies with real people. I don't know how he can't know a sound guy who would just go in. You just have to keyframe it. We could do it. You just lower the volume when during the talking, and then you go right
You
back
could
up
set an
again.
auto ducking feature right there.
No. Don't even get that fancy. You can just click like a few times. You can just hit the C button and click twice and then grab the thing and drag it down if you want. You can do anything. Just something. It was like they didn't even know dialogue was happening. I was so upset. I'm like, that is inaudible. What did she just say?
Well,
That's
my
insane.
thought, my thought is only that the audio is bad and they're trying to hide it through a poor mix.
That
would be the only reason why you would ever leave something like that is like, well, this is bad. We can't save this. Oh, can we get them back in? No, there's no looping. We can't do anything. Fuck it. Raise the volume of the. Yeah, it's fine. Okay. All right.
I almost hope that's true because there was no difference. Like in a movie where like the song's happening and then like they open the door or they cut to them in the car and it gets louder like normal. Like you go like dum 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 and it's tapped. They didn't even do that. They just like hit play and just let the song go. It bothered me so much.
Well, it felt like it was made by a music video guy. It's like it's really shocking to look up and be like, oh, this man has professional credits because you're like every transition is weird ninja nudity shit and.
No,
it doesn't even make sense.
I was like, what is happening? Whose boobs are those?
Yes, in a movie where we don't see any boobs, like diegetically, and it's like this cube, like Mac screensaver transition with like lens flares and strippers and ninjas and like dumb things.
It's like you could cut this into 3 parts, and it would be like they're open. Like this is the first 3 bits of a TV show that's on late night TV for teenage boys. Like that's what it feels like. Boobs. Like what? So and just all the reasons to have a fight, like that is just constant. Well, we need as much shit to be happening as possible. We can't have plot. No. Have them fight the Navy. Why? Well, the Navy's rapists.
Girls work at a place like this, you know what's expected.
Oh, really? What's that?
Put it this way. You're having trouble walking tomorrow? You'll know.
Yep.
What? They're all rapists, except for the one guy. Okay, what?
And they have no insignia on their uniforms at all.
Well, when about to commit a rape, you hide those things, Lindsay. You might not know this.
Yeah.
Like them breaking into a military installation to get their like a sword to sell to somebody.
Yeah,
like you expect
No. That was being returned, like returned to George Takei's like family or his like whatever. It was
an ancestral
people.
sword.
It felt like they showed a card for a second, but it was like too small, and I was like, I don't know what the hell it is. Fuck this. Everything just felt like this rush reason to have fights and not necessarily to have logic. Like at points where nobody knows who they are, they don't wear the mask and hood. But then once they are already known by the people, they wear the mask and hood to do their final assault. And I'm like, okay, well, yes, because you need to have stunt people do these moves, so you got to hide them. But it might have been nice to do that earlier too, because we did watch them do a lot. They did a lot of their own little things. They're not great, but they did things.
Yeah, I will give this movie a bit of credit. The fight choreography, a majority of it wasn't that bad. And
for what this is, fantastic.
Yeah, and it was shot well. It wasn't flat. It was very dynamic with the shooting, and they had cuts and this and that, so it kept it interesting. But for this movie, it was encouraging.
You mentioned shooting, and I can't now not think of the part where she pulls out a crossbow from a locker and
Here it is.
she shoots, and I'm like, okay, part. She got the thug, and then she throws the crossbow at another guy, and I'm like, okay, cool. I have that exact crossbow. I meant to actually put it in this room. It is a piece of shit that costs $15. If you throw it, it will break. But regardless of how cheap it is, every crossbow requires a bolt to fire, and they don't hold extra. So she threw it to the ground. The other lady picked it up.
I am Kinji. Kinji likes that you know her name before you die.
And then aims it at them, and they're like, oh, be careful. You better shoot her quick or else you'll have cold steel in your body.
Detective Harris, I strongly urge you to fire before you find a rod of steel in your chest.
Kinji will kill this pest and be right back.
You're not that fast.
A, they're not steel. They're aluminum. They're pieces of shit. And B, it takes a hard cock of the whole back end to fire it again, but you still need to put a bolt into it.
Right?
She didn't do this unless she came with a bolt, and they do say she's fast, and she quick as shit snapped it.
What was there no bolt in there, you're saying?
There was a bolt potentially the first time because they do it so quick. There definitely was not a bolt in it the first time, but she fired, and then she throws the crossbow, and then it is on the ground, gets picked up and fired again.
I thought that Kimji brought that crossbow from home, and that's just
we see her pick it up off the ground.
Okay.
Make it easy on yourself. I hate to see a grown man cry. It's so humiliating.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was a little disappointed by is it Kinji?
Let's call her Kimchi because it's funny.
I was just gonna say we could be horrible about it and do that. I have that in my notes, but I decided at the last minute not to be the guy who does that. So that's on you, man.
I don't know what her name is, but Kimchi, it's something
Kimji.
Like that.
I think
Kimji.
She says her own name every time she talks.
Is that going to be a problem?
Not for Kinji.
So
she
it
talks
should be
in
remembered.
third person.
Yeah.
They built her up like she's part of this like clan of assassins and that she's super badass.
The Black Ninjas.
Morally unsound.
Yeah, like she's got this legacy behind her and she's very mysterious. But when it comes to the fight scene between her and the girls, it was very disappointing. was hoping for a little something more than what they gave us, especially with some of the fights that they had earlier in the film.
If I were to attack you with ninjas, Lindsay, and then I left, how long do you think it would take you to get ninjas of your own from Japan to fight me? More than a few hours, maybe?
A few, yeah. It'd take a while.
Yeah, but that's her. What if I'm like a mob connected guy? What if I got Jimmy the Snitch over here?
Well, this guy seems to have literally nothing. Like, he has the worst defense I've ever seen. He's got a number of people, but they don't actually block or defend any entrances. They keep their back turned to all entrances. Just getting ready to be killed, which they are killed because they use the sound effect of your neck is snapped for almost every one of those. And then later get off on probation. I'm like, you murdered like 53 people. There's no probation. You're getting a death sentence. Yeah. What, are you kidding me?
Do it your way, probation, on the record. Right. Ryan, cut him loose.
No. He says self-defense.
Yeah, it's self-defense. But still, when they're sneaking into the warehouse lair of the bad guys and there's all the henchmen standing around, they're coming down that brightly lit tunnel egress window thing.
Yeah.
Right in full view, but nobody sees them. And then they're killing people and taking them out in one room. It's like, would you not notice that the person standing next to you is not standing next to you anymore?
No, it's some really cheesy Power Ranger style shit. Like,
I had the same thought, and I was like, just go with it. Until they kill one guy by just taking his head and going ba-dong, and like banging it against the thing, and I'm like, okay, well, and then they go like 4 feet forward and they go and like kill another guy silently, and I'm like,
in realism, if you bash someone's head against a wall, they're probably gonna die. In every Street Fight video you watch, the other guy's dead. Like, that's just how it works. People like to imagine that. The part that got me was the what do they call that? Not a perm. The bangs girl. She like sees two of them. She's like, huh. And like gets them like she's in Three Ninjas. I'm like, what's happening here?
Yeah. At a certain point, they're like, maybe it's a comedy, and they just do things differently.
That was something that I was.
Well, it is a comedy.
And that brings me to the point that I was thinking while I was watching it, because this is trying to have the tone of like Sugar and Spice or Jawbreaker, but the cinematography and the look of it is not right for that tone. If it would have been brighter, more colors, things like that, I think it would have been a more fun tone, and I think this whole thing would have worked better. But they shot it like a straight action piece, and it just doesn't fit the tone that they were going for.
Yeah, there's no contrast.
All the elements, but they're not in the right proportions.
No, like
things are not there.
You needed it to like feel this way, and then you're like, can you believe that they're deadly ninjas? Buffy, but a vampire slayer, right? Some sort of thing. But it just feels like they're ninjas.
Reboot movies.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're brightly colored. They do cutesy little things, and that's what they seem to be going for.
Well, you would need a better script and better actors for your three leads. Like, the other people are all campy and fine, but if your leads are going to carry it, they need to be saying things that make sense. But for what the script they have, these are the perfect actors. Like they're not trying to convey this great epic thing. No. This script is like, it works. I'm a little surprised that it got made, honestly, but knowing this guy has all these connections, he probably got things done pretty cheap. Like, the script is not, it's not crazy in any direction. It's not crazy bad, but it's not crazy good. It's just very middle of the line. To be someone's first and last project, it's a little disappointing, because I'm like, well, this is fine for a first work. Yeah. Like, you'd think this could have led to something else. Well, maybe he was just like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing any more of this. God, George was such a bastard. Like, or who's to say?
You didn't like the part where they acted like bimbos in front of the cop to like.
Oh my God.
I'm Detective Harris, Metro PD.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
I wrote that down. I was like, yep, act dumb in front of the cop, and like act impossibly fucking dumb in front of the cop.
Like, oh my God, what?
What?
No. Oh my God.
Ew, strip club? Oh my God.
Ew.
I think they did nail that, though. That might be their best stuff.
That was one of the more for the tone that they were trying to go for. That was one of the more successful scenes that they did.
Then you never entered the establishment.
A strip club? Oh, God, no. Ew.
but it was like
when he keeps saying it's a piece of shit VW, that actually made me laugh. I'm like, he's saying it so much.
Right?
Like for me, like as a person who's filmed things before, I'm like, oh, did they film this a bunch of times and they just, the way he looped it in, they can't get out of using it and they just keep using it because he says
he says it like 4 or 5
we could do a montage. He says it like 4 or 5 times.
And then I see this piece of crap VW in the parking lot.
Hey, not nice.
And I say to myself, I know this piece of crap VW. The same piece of crap VW, yeah, the same piece of crap VW that was spotted when my Vic was shot.
He said it was like the full technical name of the model of car, like a Volkswagen, whatever. He said like piece of shit. Yeah, it's great.
I enjoyed that. That was fun. I love George Takei getting electrocuted. I thought that was funny.
Just holding it here. He's not chained or strapped in.
Well, because how did they catch him in the first place? He's like the legendary ninja.
No. He was playing all along. This was all a part of his.
Oh, it was a long con. He let his boy get shot just so he could be there for the end.
He wanted to like kill because like way at the end he just gets out of the chair.
Time to die, Hiroshi.
You were saying?
And then he's suddenly behind the mob boss, and they do like the fight at the end of Equilibrium, but it's horrible. Where he just keeps doing the same move to the guy. And like laughing at him, and I'm like, you're making fun of yourself. And then the other guy says, I thought you people were supposed to fight with your feet. And I'm like, oh God, what's happening?
What's the matter with you, huh? You guys supposed to fight with your feet.
The best line in the movie, though, is when he shoots him, and he's like, ninjas don't use guns. I'm old. I forget the rules.
Right?
Yeah.
Ninjas don't use guns.
But I'm old, and I forget the rules sometimes.
Oh.
That and like did you watch past the credits? There's a part where like he pushes Mike and Mike's like, ah, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry, with his like really proper way of talking. How he always has like that great actor's voice.
So
and he's like, no, I'm acting. He goes, oh.
George Takei.
Sorry.
I'm acting.
Oh. Bravo, very credible.
I think he's great. I love they got him. It seems like a weird pull almost, like cause it's not a super it's such a weird role. Like, oh, who are you? I'm gonna be a legendary like kung fu master who has his own dojo and a strip club.
Yeah, I didn't go double check this, but I have this impression of him that he's like not usually down with that sort of role. Like he's not as into being like, the joke is that I'm George Takei. Like he's not really into that, right? But
he always comes across as a really fun guy when I see him in interviews and stuff, though. So like, I could see him being in hundreds of things like this, but I haven't seen him in hundreds of things like this,
Right.
Perhaps you should have hired 2.
But I like it.
He also gets to sword fight Kinji. Now I'm second guessing myself.
Yeah,
I thought I wrote
Kinji,
that.
I think.
With an N or an M. Kinji. Anyway,
doesn't matter.
They sword fight and there's like lightning happening.
Yes. Some of the only CG work in the movie.
As that sword was magic. Oh my God. Yeah.
There's a part where she like swings out with her sword at the 3 ninjas, and I was like, oh, in a darker movie, this would be great for her to just kill all 3 of them right there, and then him be like, no! And like blood rage starts, and like a really great fight sequence happens. Like in a different movie, that would be wonderful. I would totally watch that.
But in this movie, she just does it as a joke. She like laughs, like, gotcha.
There's a scene when they first walk into the strip club and they interrupt a conversation going on where the bouncer dude and the other guy are arguing who is the better conqueror.
Napoleon was attacked.
I'm not saying that he wasn't. All I'm saying is he wasn't better than Alexander.
Yes.
The best conqueror. And obviously these 3 girls are geniuses. I mean, one of them, her favorite book's The Art of War. So they just add their 2 cents in, like, oh my God, you know that Attila and some other guy are the best, and then they just walk through, like, they totally dunked on this guy with their knowledge of strategy and tactics.
And that whole channel crossing nonsense? What a waste.
Besides, Attila or Cyrus were greater conquerors.
And that is the conversation that is at every strip club, by the way. It's actually exhausting the amount of times I've had this conversation.
I've never been in a strip club. But
yeah, me either. You blew my spot.
Now that I know that it's just debating Napoleon versus Alexander the Great, now I'm interested in going.
Right.
That sounds interesting. I'm not a history guy
it
either.
was 2,000 years before gunpowder, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold up. That was 2,000 years before gunpowder.
Even the ladies.
Yeah.
Right? Which I'd be like, what? No, this is the attempt to like demonstrate their I don't know.
There's too much of these. Like, we have to show how powerful they are and how great athleticism they have and how like good their acting is. Look, they can play dumb and they're brilliant and blah. Like, there's just too much. And with how much they're doing in the day, it just like that is the joke, but it's not. It doesn't land. Like, it's not done. Like you should have had. If you wanted to make it a joke, it's like, oh, they're not cheerleaders. They're astrophysicists and ninjas and volunteers at their kids' school PTA or like some bullshit thing. Like real extremes was bullshit and costume.
Yeah,
changes.
like one of them's like a demolition expert, and like one of them is like a stunt driver that can drift and stuff. It would have to be like way over the top.
That would be more than that Charlie's Angels venue. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And then more of the ridiculous stuff would have worked a lot better.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
There's a scene when they're in the bedroom studying and they say like I'm doing genetics or evolution is so fun.
Hey, what are you studying? Human evolution. How is it? Seeing 5 million years of evolution. It's rewarding? Yes.
Then one of them says like it's late. We should really like go to bed.
What time is it?
1 a.m. Should we get some sleep? I guess so.
And then there's a very strange little thing where she crawls up onto the bed and says, "But I'm not sleepy."
But I'm not sleepy.
And
hard cut.
So no. So I was like, am I to believe? Because this happens early in the movie, and I'm like, am I supposed to believe that these are like lesbian ninja cheerleaders? What's going on? And then the other one kind of scoffs and does that. And I'm like, am I supposed to believe that these are lesbian ninja cheerleaders with a clapper in 2008?
Yeah,
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, are they gonna do it?
Are they doing it?
That part got cut. I'm sure that part is filmed. That's a thing.
The way she laid down and the way she said that, I was like, they're setting up for something to go down.
It was very alluring.
It was.
Something was happening, and then nothing happens. Obviously,
it's so dumb. It's almost as dumb as like they get arrested and like they're in a cop car.
I think I'm gonna take the three of you down to the station.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
What's the charge?
Well, let's start with obstruction of justice.
And they're like, well, he can't get us if we, and like fucking just like all undo their fucking things and run. And I'm like, well, that's resisting arrest.
Yeah.
You just fled the police.
Yeah, well, they can't arrest what they don't have.
Roshi could be dead right now and you want to go take finals?
Shall we?
You were in custody. Probation. That doesn't make sense.
In all fairness, so there's a whole like storytelling device where they're being interviewed by that cop later. So when they get to parts in the story, it cuts back to his reaction.
You made me look like a complete ass.
And he's like, "You made me look like an idiot there. Like that is not cool." And then they move on. Yeah. In all fairness.
And it cuts like it shows X-rays of broken bones and like pictures of people with their face all fucked up and then just like
It's honestly weird. It adds on to the whole thing of there's so much happening in the movie. Like, we even have this device and things like that. We're cutting back. We're a better movie than we are. Boob transitions. We've got it all. It's whoo.
It's a lot.
He's the biggest crime lord in the county.
Sure.
It is our job to police this town, not yours.
Glad we could help you, though.
And the ending, they set it up for a sequel.
Which I was going to say, do we think it's going to happen? Nowadays, you wait 25 years for a sequel. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
I was hoping that it already happened.
I didn't actually look. Did anyone look?
I didn't look either. I'm sure, because maybe they called it something else. I don't know.
A shocking amount of actors in this movie, if you look at like what they're known for, it's this.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
That's a little, what?
No,
who was the Dawn at the end?
I'm gonna kill Hiroshi.
And them ninja cheerleaders, if it takes me the rest of my life.
He looked really fucking familiar. Did anyone look it up?
No.
I did not. Yeah, I didn't.
I don't know that guy's name. Is he mobster?
He would have been like Don Italian name. I don't know.
Don, what was the name of it? Because they go to Lazzaro's, which it's Don Lazzaro.
Yeah, that must be
He has his
it.
own restaurant. And they just put that wooden sign in front of that house.
Yeah.
And that was the restaurant.
And that whole cut to the old Don was so weird. Just like some weird, they green screened the windows after an establishing shot of like Vegas. And I got the impression he was dead because like he's like, this was my dad's place and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, why didn't it go to him when you went to jail? I don't understand. Like, I don't know what's happening. If he's still a successful mob boss.
He kind of looked dead, but yeah.
Got a Bubba Hotep vibe, what he said.
And this might be Buddy Daniels Friedman.
That doesn't ring a bell with me, but
he's been in nothing. Oh, I'm sorry, boxing trainer on an episode of Key and Peele.
Ah. There you go.
Naturally.
Nothing for me. Yeah. I think that's all of my notes. Navy rapist, George owns this club, Conqueror talk, nudity transitions, everyone's a perv, intro card.
Everyone was a perv. Oh my God. Every single dude. Every single dude in this movie either wanted to fight them or fuck them. Or both.
And most of the ones that fight them is because they wanted to fuck them.
Yeah.
And it didn't go properly.
Like, what is happening?
The teacher, I was my favorite in the beginning. He looks like, he's probably just a nice guy. Nope, he's a goober. Like, get him out of here.
Okay, good luck.
Thanks.
Nope, he's falling over himself because this beautiful young woman is in his presence. He can't control himself.
Yeah.
We forgot in like a class full of beautiful people, by the way, too. But yes, then like a dude comes on like way too strong to her, and my note here says, "Is she? Are we to believe that his cock is out?"
Oops, you popped out. Oh my God.
He popped a boner.
I think he was supposed to be erect.
I know, but she says you popped out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Popped out of where?
Because he covers up and like crab walks out. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. She aroused him to death. He went off to die of shame.
I wish it had something like that in it. Like, for all that we've talked about and for all that it is, it's also like feels like it's like nothing. It feels like nothing happened.
Yeah, there's nothing exceptional in any direction. There's nothing outlandish. I think it's because our main characters have like too much self-respect to do anything crazy outlandish.
Yeah.
Like that scene you were talking about before with the clapper, like that might have been something weird written in the script, and they were like, "I'm not doing that. Sorry." Okay.
and they did. It was just the whole stakes thing. The biggest thing is they all want to get into Brown, and we go through each one reading their letter about how they're accepted.
Your acceptance letter came in today. Thought we agreed you couldn't afford that.
You opened my mail?
You're living under my roof, you're goddamn right I did.
You had no right to.
But it's like 7 different plots going on at the same time, and they don't seem to care that much about any of them.
No, because how could any of these be that important when your day is full of 500 things that all go perfectly well for you?
Yeah.
So like it just does something. Maybe if one didn't get into Brown and after the fact something they did, like maybe a recommendation from Quantico will say,
that would have been interesting.
The guy from Brown is here. Mr. Brown is
He's
here.
at the All City Strip Off.
Yeah.
He's like, this is ridiculous.
Making it rain.
No, but for all that we see of all their families and all this, like, the drama, and I can't wait to get out of here. It's like, yes, there's nothing. Everything ends nowhere, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping was going to happen with the brunette chick, and that's why she was so angry. I was waiting for it to be revealed that she didn't get into Brown, because that would have put some kind of conflict and into the storyline. But there was just nothing.
What's that? Nothing.
That the whole nothing burger concept is kind of why it feels like a pilot to me, because it's like, yep, it's something that ends up with nothing, but tells you like more things to come, kids. Check out every week after school.
Just whetting your appetite.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
And also, why are they ninjas?
It's a ninja thing. You just wouldn't understand.
We know why they're dancing, but why are they ninjas?
Because it's funny. There's no reason. There's no reason for mostly anything that happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, we just needed a lot of slow motion walks, and we figured cheerleaders are cool.
Hey, you're supposed to be dead.
Ninjas were hot at the time. People like kung fu movies. We got this. They don't got this.
They don't got this.
Did either one of your geniuses think about putting him in the trunk first?
I think that is the anthem of the movie. They don't got this.
I liked the ending song.
What was the song? Sing it for me.
Plays over the credits. I don't know. It had kind of like a Matches vibe, which I'm sure you'll disagree with because
I can't even remember it, so I couldn't even agree or disagree. But there were some songs. I think it was this one that I didn't hate, and they were so prominent.
Yeah,
that
I was pleasantly surprised by the soundtrack because it was like an actual soundtrack. I mean, they listed quite a few songs at the. But I didn't like the credit style. It was so hard to read.
Oh, it was very annoying to like visually read.
So
Yes, they like slid in all these weird ways, and then like once the last piece slid in, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pause and read this. The like the earliest ones, were like already fading out.
Right?
Yeah.
It was like designed to annoy me because I'm like, who is that? What's going on? Yeah.
That's a bad movie like trope. Like credits where it's like it's slightly wiggly. Did you do something?
Yeah.
How did you make it slightly wiggly? I can't
It's
read
like,
this.
just do a crawl. Just do
Yeah.
a crawl. That's it. You don't have to have the shit flying everywhere.
I had a
I'm being
jitter.
so
I thought that would be
creative
cool.
at the end. Yeah. Put the creativity in the actual movie, not in your credit sequence. Thank you.
All right, guys. I think that is everything to be said about Ninja Cheerleader. Am I right? There's the well is run dry. There's not much more to go on in this
There's
film.
not much more to talk. I think we covered all the bases. You know,
I
we
think,
covered the ninja stuff. We covered the finals, the all city strip off, the gangster mafia involvement, the enema threat, booby transitions.
You had me at booby transitions. Lindsay, why don't you tell the people where they can find you?
You can find me on my channel, just my name, Lindsay Washburn, and it should pop up. So, ow, I hit my finger.
Her karate skills are coming out.
Right?
So definitely go subscribe to her because you got to see us talk about Cheerleader Ninjas, the companion piece here. And my God, like if you had any enjoyment of this one, that one, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You really have to watch them both. It's like a salt and pepper shaker. It's like a set. Yeah.
And
Bookends.
watch this one first, because
that's the way I did it. So
me too.
So if you're watching the other video, go back and watch this video. Yeah.
It's like taking a shot with a shot chaser.
Yes.
All right, kids, fuck off.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
It's good talk, girls.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition.